The Nintendo Entertainment System was released in North America in 1985 and produced tons of amazing titles and made plenty of memories for kids all across the world. Today, we are looking at the top-selling NES games. In fact, we're looking at the top 10. Now, these games can be included as pack-in titles or standalone games. One thing is for sure, you'll notice a certain mascot on here quite a bit. But before we get into this list, if this is your first time on my channel or if you just haven't yet, make sure you hit that sub button to watch plenty of NES content from countdowns and retrospectives. Get your checklist ready and mark down the games that you have in your collection because we are looking at the top 10 best-selling NES games.
Now you're playing with power.
Now, why don't I throw in a little bonus for you guys of 3 games that just missed the cut. Coming in at 13 is Kung Fu, selling 3.5 million copies. Dragon Quest III comes in at 12, selling north of 3,800,000 copies. And finally, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just missed the cut with 4 million copies. Number 10, Golf. Golf features 2 challenging 18-hole courses where players are able to play a round of golf, and it allows the players to choose a club, adjust the stance, and control the swing. The game features 3 alternating views, an overhead long-range view of the entire hole, an overhead medium-range view from the ball's current location, and an overhead close-range view of the green. Gameplay modes include 1 or 2 players. Number 9, Excitebike. Race by yourself against the clock or compete against other motocross riders on 5 tracks full of long straights, large jumps, and obstacles to win the Excitebike Championship. Create your own tracks by placing jumps and obstacles of all different sizes and shapes on the track and choose how many laps each race will have. Then, race against the clock and other riders to see how your track fares in competition. Number 8, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. This was quite the change of style of gameplay from the original game, but Zelda 2 still sold really well. Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link is an action role-playing game and the sequel to The Legend of Zelda. The gameplay alternates between a top-down view when traveling the land and a side-scrolling perspective when fighting in a temple or in town. In the top-down view, Link cannot do much except for walk, but in the side-scrolling action view, he can fight, cast spells, collect items, and talk to people. When Link encounters an enemy in the wilderness or enters a location which contains enemies, he can fight them with a sword. If Link is at full health, his sword can be thrown, but when he is hurt, he can only swing it. Link has some protection though. He does carry a shield that will protect him against enemy attacks. Touching an enemy or getting hit by their attacks decreases Link's health. If he runs out of health, he loses a life. If he loses all of his lives, it's game over. Number 7, Dr. Mario. In this Tetris-style game, you play as Dr. Mario, who must drop differently colored pills onto viruses to remove them from the bottle. Each pill is split into 2, with each side being one of 3 different colors: red, blue, or yellow. Align the 3 pills of the same color to a virus of the corresponding color, and it will be removed from the bottle along with the aligned pills. The level is cleared when there are no more viruses left, and the game is over when the pills reach the top and Dr. Mario can't drop any more. Number 6, The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda marks the first title in the Zelda series, and what a way to start. Players must make their way through various forests, graveyards, plains, and deserts of the overworld to find the secret entrances of 8 dungeons in an attempt to piece together the broken Triforce. Once all the pieces are joined, Link will be able to gain entry into Death Mountain, home of Ganon, and the prison of Princess Zelda. Link can explore the overworld freely, though when he enters a screen, he will encounter several enemies. He can attack them with his sword, and if Link is at full health, he can toss his sword to attack enemies from afar. But when he's hurt, even slightly, he can only fight in short range. To find the Triforce pieces, Link must explore dungeons. Once he finds an entrance to the dungeon and goes in, he must explore the rooms, fight enemies, and collect keys until he finds the boss monster that he must defeat. He will then be able to pick up a Triforce piece and gain a permanent health increase. The Legend of Zelda is known for several factors that were advanced at the time: a continuous world that could be freely explored, power-ups that would permanently enhance the main character's abilities, and a battery backup save that allowed players to retain their progress instead of having to start over. The gameplay is balanced out by frequent action sequences with discovery, secrets, and exploration. Number 5. Super Mario Bros. 2. Now I'm sure you know the secret to Super Mario Bros. 2. This release is completely different from the original Japanese counterpart. It's in fact a version of Yumi Kojo Doki Doki Panic with a different storyline and protagonist swapped for Mario and his friends. In the North American version, one night Mario has a strange dream where he opens the door to another world filled with even stranger creatures and lands than those in his last adventure. Amazingly, the next day, Mario, Luigi, Toad, and the princess stumble upon a cave which leads to a world that was in Mario's dream. This land is the Land of Dreams and is under an evil spell thanks to Wart, so Mario and the gang must save the day. You'll be able to choose from 4 different characters, each differing in speed and jumping ability, and play through 7 levels, each filled with puzzles, bosses, bonus coins, and the always helpful mushroom. After each level, depending on how many coins you collect, you can use them in the bonus game to collect extra lives. Number 4. Tetris. Tetris was a banger on the Game Boy, but people also loved it on the NES. This version of Tetris is one of many conversions of the famous block stacking game. The goal is to place pieces made up of 4 tiles in a 10x20 well, organizing them into complete rows which disappear. As rows are cleared, the pace of the game increases, and the game ends if the stack reaches the top of the well. The game offers 2 different modes of play: Type A and Type B. Type A is a standard endless mode where the speed of the game increases every 10 lines with an option for the starting level when beginning the game. Type B, on the other hand, is a race to clear 25 lines with options for both drop speed and starting garbage. In both modes, successful play is rewarded with cute animations. Number 3. Super Mario Bros. 3. Bowser is back, and along with him, the Bowser Kids. He's out to spoil Mario's day once again. This time, along with nabbing the princess, the Bowser crew have also taken the magic wands from the kings of each land and turned them into creatures. It's up to Mario and Luigi to get back the magic wands, defeat Bowser, and save the princess, all before the day is done. Old and new power-ups abound are in each level for the Mario Brothers, including the return of the Super Mushroom and the Fire Flower. Plus, the new power-ups including the Frog Suit, the Warp Flute, and the most important of all, the Leaf, which allows the player to fly and attack enemies with your tail. Number 2. Duck Hunt. Here's a pack-in title that utilized the NES Zapper. Duck Hunt is a shooting simulation game where the player goes out with his faithful dog to hunt ducks. It does require the use of the Zapper light gun, and in game modes A and B, players view a swampland from the first-person perspective. The dog scares the ducks out of the swamp one at a time in mode A, or two at a time in mode B. The ducks go flying around in the air, and the player has 3 shots and a limited amount of time to shoot the ducks before they fly away. Each round only allows a limited number of misses in order to move on successfully. As the rounds progress, the ducks begin flying faster and faster, and fewer misses are allowed. And now, the #1 top-selling NES game, Super Mario Bros., topping out at over 40 million copies sold. Indeed, it was one of the most popular games ever made for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and it was actually the first NES game that I ever played. The princess has been kidnapped by the evil Bowser, and it is up to Mario and his brother Luigi to save the day. The first ever platform adventure for the Mario Brothers has the player exploring level after level with Bowser to contend with at the end of each level. Power-ups include the Super Mushroom, which increases Mario's size and power, the Fire Flower, allowing him to shoot fireballs at enemies, and the ever-important Star for a short burst of invincibility. Now, there are tons of secrets to find in this game. There's bonus sections, plenty of hidden coins, shortcuts, end-of-level flags, and warp points that takes the player to advanced stages in the game. So there you have it, the top 10 best-selling NES games. Which one of them do you have in your collection? Which one of them do you want to add? I think you've noticed a theme here. Mario reigned king on the NES. Well, let me know in the comments below which games you own in this collection. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel to watch plenty of NES content. Thanks for watching.